Trent. I'm the student pastor here. And I got to be honest, Logan. Like I was just saying to Logan in the background. So I've only been doing the role of student minister for like maybe about a year and a half now. And I was back in the back going, Logan, I want my job back. Like you be the student pastor, let me go back to my people in the middle school because I love this crowd. So welcome, man. So glad you're here. So what are you about to do?
Yeah. So we're just going to tell them a little bit about who we are. We're going to talk about what middle school is, what the middle school ministry is. And so I'm Logan, middle school minister, and this is Chris, our student pastor. But we're going to tell you about a little bit more of our staff right here. So let's go over to the next slide. Here we go. We got, obviously, Chris Trent, our student pastor.
Yeah, and that's why I love to ride. Wendy also sitting there, and she's been hanging out there, checking you folks in, and she's also on Sunday morning when things get back to normal. She would want to wave to everybody. Hey, there she is. Awesome. There, look at that beautiful face behind the mask. It's awesome. So she's always, sixth graders, here's what you need to know. Everybody look right here. If you run into a problem on Sunday mornings, you would think, I'm going to go find Logan. But we know the answer is, no, go find Wendy. And she will help you get settled and get whatever you need. Or go find my man Scott Harb back there. Scott Harb, stand up and just take a note in all seriousness. Like, our man Scott Harb, he's also a volunteer with us on Sunday morning. He was always out there in the Walk-a-Desk area, and he will help you also. So,
faithfully for a long time. And then,
that's Logan Grantham right there.
That is me. Okay, I did just finish 8th grade last year, but I am your middle school minister this year. So. No, I didn't finish middle school last year, but I am a ripe 24 years old. So if you have any questions about life or anything, I'm your guy. That's me. So
I'm the Logan with all of your parenting needs. He's got a dog.
That's good. I'm a dog dad.
Hey, Logan though has been with us for a while, and he really, he started doing this job recently in a more official capacity, but. Logan, it's been maybe 5 years ago, right out of high school, Logan came to us as an intern, spent the entire summer with us, and really became Johnson Ferry pretty quick in terms of just his heart here and being just kind of melded with us. And so came again as an intern, actually stuck around that entire year, and then stayed another summer,
then went off to leave.
What was that lame? You went to some lame school over in Athens.
The University of Georgia.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a bigger applause there, but at least I got something.
They used to play football, and then
way too soon.
And so then he came back with us. So and he's married. Tell me about your wife.
Yes, that's my wife. Her name is Kara. She's back right there in the black shirt. That's her. She teaches at J.J. Daniel Middle School in Cobb County. So she's also a middle school person. We're just around you guys all the time. We just love middle school students. But we've been married for over a year now. So also, if you need marriage advice, I'm your guy. I'm your guy.
I love this. You're just calling it like it is. Yeah.
What can I say?
Erin McAnally's next. She's our girls associate. So girls, she's got a little video we're going to show you everything. You'll understand why she's not here in a little bit. But she's phenomenal.
She's awesome.
I love Erin. She's going to tell you in her video here in a little bit about some girls' ministry events. So,
Yeah, and then you've already met the wonderful Courtney Carter. She is our event coordinator. She just was up here playing the games. There's Courtney right there in the sound booth.
Courtney is straight up one of ours. Like she grew up here in Johnson Ferry, went through D-Now, went to DR, went to Peru, did all those things.
You did middle school. You were in middle school here, right?
Yeah. Middle school.
It's awesome, man. Good times. Yep.
Wow. So then our last staff member.
The best of the best.
The best of the best.
The one that keeps us all organized.
Yes.
The one that if you really want to know the answer of a question, just skip all of us and you go straight to Melissa McBrayer back here. So Melissa, take off your face mask so thank you for a second. Yes. So we 100% stole her from women's ministry a couple years ago, and she is just killing it for us in our student ministry. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's been with us for a while. So that's our staff. But we want to tell you a little bit about who we are, kind of our mission statement, as you will. Basically just kind of give you an overview of who MSM or the middle school ministry is. You'll hear me say MSM probably a few times tonight. All that stands for is middle school ministry. So this is kind of our mission, our statement that we that we pride ourselves on here in the MSM, and it's to reach and disciple middle school students to relationship with Jesus. So our goal is to help you, as you're entering middle school, to learn what it means to follow Jesus, to love Him, to worship Him through this new season of life. So that's kind of our mission. And then we have some ways that we sort of fulfill that mission. So there's some things that we do during the year and during the week that really help us accomplish that goal of ours. So some of these things, Chris, you can talk about a lot of these things, and we'll talk about them in a second, but life groups and midweek. Life groups, why don't you tell us
and just for what it's worth also, we're kind of intentionally tonight not spending a lot of time talking about the obvious, which is we can't do things normal right now. So we're just kind of talking as if and believing that eventually we are going to get back to normal. Okay? Who's with me? Right? So that said, we're going to talk to you as if things are back to normal. So obviously it's not going to happen this coming Sunday kind of thing. Okay? But going forward, life groups, middle school students here, sixth graders, here's the thing. Normally, what we would have done is last Sunday, I would have gone up to 5th grade, and I would have grabbed all of you, and we would have come down here on a Sunday morning, and we would have showed you the room. You would have walked into this room. There would have been 35 tables spread out through this room, and we would show you that 6th grade always sits on that side, 7th grade in the middle, 8th grade over here, and we would have introduced you to what the room was going to feel like, and you would learn what it's going to be like to have a life group leader. And clearly that's a little different right now, but you can see some pictures here of what that looks like throughout the year. And the key here, folks, both for parents and students, the key is to understand this. And this is your starting point, your connection point to our church and to our student ministry. We want you to be a part of that group of friends that you end up getting placed in a group with. Parents, we want you to be an encouragement to that and help that along the way as well, helping that life group leader to have different things for your students. And that's going to be something that takes place eventually, and you're going to love it. And Courtney, having grown up in our student ministry, you remember your life groups from back in the day. There's no doubt. Alec, from your time here, even though you didn't really come to middle school here because you don't like us. Alec Ammons, by the way, is back here. He's our high school associate helping us out tonight. Alec, what's up? How you doing? Yeah. So, you should have introduced him.
I should have. I'm sorry, Alec.
So, he's helping you. But you're going to love it. This is going to be good stuff. We have awesome things throughout the year, like Cupcake Smackdown, Super Cereal Sunday.
It's incredible stuff.
Get to know Eugenia. Just all of these things. But the real key is that that's your connection point. And so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit later about sort of the 2020 year, right? So we'll talk a little bit later about life groups and what that will sort of look like for you guys, at least for this fall semester. But typically, this is what it would look like. It's just an incredible environment, and I'm telling you, on that first day, man, it's just, when we get back, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we do every week, we do life groups on Sundays, and then on Wednesdays we do midweek. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a snapshot of what midweek is like. It's more of a hangout type feel. It's an opportunity for students to come during the middle of the week. And we offer a worship service where our Bobby Smith and some of our high school students will lead us in worship. And then one of our staff members will give we'll just talk basically for 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And we'll just cover some topics that are really, really good for middle school students. And honestly, this is a great way for students who are not involved in the church to get connected with us. And we started doing this thing last year called the Impossible Shot. And man, we've had at least 15 kids, students start coming and wanting to be a part of our church. And that has been driven out of our students that are attending here. They're inviting their friends to come and be a part and learn about what Jesus is like. So it's just a super cool atmosphere.
And if you've been around Johnson Ferry for a little bit, who's been around Johnson Ferry for a while? Anybody? Yeah. So you may have heard us say the word frenzy before. Anybody ever heard of frenzy? Right? Well, that's midweek now. Okay, so frenzy is not a name that we're going to use anymore. We're going to use midweek. And he's going to talk about the fall plan here shortly, but we're going to get a little taste of midweek, even starting right after Labor Day, it's looking like. So, so it's going to be really good.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it looks like for us in terms of middle school ministry on a weekly basis. But we also have these huge annual type events that we do that are really big, and I'm sure a lot of you know about them. D-Now, which is amazing.
Yeah, hey, can I push pause for 1 second?
Yeah,
I'm going to interrupt you for just
push pause.
Go back to that one slide for just a minute there, Dylan, for me. One thing I do want to say, though, just as a heads up, is on midweek in a normal schedule, that would be at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then at 6 o'clock, you have a really awesome opportunity to be a part of middle school choir. And the cool thing about middle school choir is that it leads up to a trip over spring break that you're going to really want to be at. We've been to places like Nashville, St. Louis. We were going to go to New Orleans this year. It got canceled, obviously. This little place was, it's like my favorite dot on the entire planet. What is that place?
I'm going to guess Atlanta?
No, it's not Atlanta.
Okay.
Disney.
Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, it's in Orlando. We've been to Orlando a few times because people clearly need Jesus there. So, yeah, it's awesome. So, sixth grade choir, middle school choir, it's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's smack dab right before, so we always have a massive crowd of students that come down from choir and on a full sprint just run into the room down that little ramp down there. It's pretty crazy, but choir is amazing.
We average 2.3 falls per week coming down the stairs.
That is correct. So yeah, so that's what we look like on a weekly basis. Here's what we look like on sort of an annual type events that we have. D-Now, which is incredible. We'll talk about that in a second. Man Treat and Flourish. Those are kind of there's two events that we have just for middle school guys, which is the Man Treat, obviously. And then Flourish, which is just for all middle school girls. And we'll talk about it in a second. And then we do just these amazing mission trips. Dallas and 6th grade ATL.
Yeah, I absolutely love 6th grade ATL. I love Dallas. Dallas is a trip for our 7th and 8th grade students. 6th graders, you guys will want to look forward to that. But 6th grade ATL is a trip that takes place here in the ATL. We go over to this little place called Great Wolf Lodge.
Great Wolf Lodge, that's it.
And we stay there. But we go serve Jesus throughout the entire day and do mission work throughout Atlanta, and it's phenomenal. You're not going to want to miss that.
Yeah.
And Dallas, Dallas is what it is. And, it's a phenomenal trip where we load up 3 charter buses and take, 100, 120 people.
Right on to Dallas, Georgia. That's where we're going. So.
Dallas,
get excited, everybody!
Dallas,
Texas.
Georgia.
Just kidding.
Dallas, Texas. That's it. So, I'm gonna get nuts here. I don't think this is about to happen. Though. I think we ought to talk about D-Now.
Okay, all right.
Talk
about it. Yeah.
I think we ought to tell this group. This is for real. He doesn't know this is going to happen. You guys are going to find out information that was just approved today by executive staff. Nobody else knows what I'm about to say. But as of this morning, D-Now is going to happen this year, November 5th, 6th. Now, it's not going to happen normal. That's not a surprise, all right? That's not a surprise. We're going to have to eliminate a few things like, official host home type situations and some leader type things. There's going to be some changes. But when it was all said and done, we did not want to miss out on the impact that we feel like this event. So we've got some very creative ideas on how we're going to pull this thing off. But as of this morning, we're still planning to do. Now, of course, the asterisk for everything we plan to do right now is planning, right? But as of right now, the plan is that come November 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, that we're going to do a version of D-Now. The 6th graders, you guys are going to want to be a part of it. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Imagine getting your favorite, like a D-Now shirt, and getting a D-Now face mask that matches. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? That's going to be the best thing you're ever had. Alec, I'm going to get you to start designing that quick. Okay, awesome.
Hey, Chris, I'm going to have Courtney
Carter!
Courtney's going to come up and tell us a little bit about
your energy, Courtney Carter.
And it's only year.
Yes. So in a normal year, which we'll hopefully get back to really soon, D-Now, if you've never been a part of it before, is a weekend where you get to go with your best friends, you and a group of your best friends, get to go to a house like not your parents' house, someone else's house, and you get to spend the night, and you have some leaders, some adult leaders, some college leaders, and you get to hang out at this house, and you get to have like a little retreat weekend. You have sessions, we have a really awesome band, we have a really awesome speaker, and during the weekend you have a bunch of different events. So you come on Thursday nights, we always have this big rally where we've done in the past, we've done light games, we've done glow stick games, we've done so many fun things. So that normally happens on Thursday, and then Friday you get to go to your host home, is what we call it, with all your best friends. You get to spend the night on Friday night and Saturday night, and on Saturday, the middle schoolers get to come and you guys dress up with your group as something really awesome, and you get to come do a parade. So you walk around, you parade around, and the best costume wins this huge awesome trophy, and you get to put your name on the trophy, and it's really cool, and it sits in Logan's office, and we look at it all the time and we say, wow, look at those people and their costume, it was the best. That happens on Saturday, and you get free Chick-fil-A, so like,
Who doesn't?
what can go wrong? And then on Sunday, so Saturday, that happens on Saturday, you also have a session with our really awesome speaker on Saturday. And then on Sunday, you get to come, and it's really cool because all the students take over the 11:15 service in the activity center. We're all there, we're all together, middle schoolers and high schoolers, we're all together, worshiping the Lord, being excited about what the Lord has taught us that week. It's really fun and really exciting, and even though it's not going to be exactly like that this year, it's still going to be just as impactful. So we really hope you guys come, and it's going to be really fun, and we'll all be there, and hopefully we'll all be getting to experience that together.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney.
Yeah.
You know, Chris, D-Now has been something that has been so impactful in our student ministry over the past few years. Not even the past few, but just ever since I've been around.
Yeah, I mean, it's been huge for a lot of years, and the only way that I've ever really been able to describe that experience, and parents, I think you'll understand kind of what I'm saying. It's just one of those events that just God just seems to have his hand on that event. And even though it's going to be different this year, I still believe that God's got a plan in all that. And we're going to have a pretty good time. So it's going to be really good. So
yeah,
it'll be awesome. Yeah.
Well, hey, let's talk about the next thing on the screen. And the next thing is Man Tree. So where are all my dudes in the room?
Dudes. Dudes.
Where are all, you can like say something. Where are all my dudes in the room? That's a little bit
Grunt or something.
Yeah. We should have them start barking.
No, listen.
Okay, that would be weird. Okay, you're right. The 24-year-old throwing out weird ideas. So yeah, Man Tree. It is for all middle school guys. It is a weekend in February, and what it normally looks like is we go up to Camp Highlands, which is an incredible place. They have a turf football field, and obviously guys are playing football the whole weekend, and we do ropes courses and all these kind of adventure type things. But what's really cool about Man Tree is that we go through a curriculum that is called How to Be a Man, and we touch on topics where we study the life of Jesus, and we look at different characteristics of his life, whether it's humility or serving or just being a guy who is very loving and what that means from a biblical perspective. So, and it's just a great event, and I was here when we started it, and man, it's been super fun in the past. So, yeah, do you have anything to say about Man Tree?
I love it.
I think.
Nope. Don't even go where you're about to go.
Okay. I'll say it.
We don't want to talk about the fire that I started. When this is different.
Chris.
No.
You said it.
No, but I said we shouldn't talk about it.
Chris started the fire. Okay, well, we'll go to the next slide. I can't just say that and not
It only
explain.
burned about half the students are floored down.
Okay, they're all wondering what happened.
And we're leaving hanging, like we'll tell the middle school guys if they come on the trip.
Okay, if you go on the trip, you will learn how Chris started the
Personally
fire
tell me.
at Man Tree. But hey, parents, I promise it is a safe environment. So please come. It's still going to be fun.
That was the year that we decided to give every middle school guy a survival kit that had a knife, a fire starter,
It's,
Um,
I remember that so vividly.
this is a true story. Hey, I was one. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah. What's next?
Okay, what's next is
Oh, dude, you can't talk about. What do you know about Flourish? I don't know anything.
I don't know anything about
Do we have
Flourish.
anybody that can talk about Flourish?
Erin McAnally.
Aaron
She is the
McAnally
one.
can talk about Flourish.
Hey guys, I hope y'all are having an amazing night at Kickstart. My name is Erin McAnally and I am here at Johnson Ferry working with all the girls, so middle school and high school girls, and I am so excited to have all of you moving up to middle school. Although I am super bummed that I can't be there tonight. Unfortunately, my roommate tested positive for COVID, so I'm at home being safe, quarantining, kicking it at home, and just wanted to hop in on a video to say hey, say that I'm so excited that all of y'all are moving up to middle school. I'm even repping our new MSM shirt with y'all in spirit, and I also wanted to tell the girls about a super special event that we have in middle school, and it is called Flourish. It happens in the spring, and it's a weekend specifically designed for y'all to come to worship together through singing, learning about who the Lord is and how you can truly follow him as a middle school girl. So you get to do that by hanging out with some high school and college age girls. You get to do that by coming, and we have a massive movie night on Friday night. It is amazing. Like, you can bring your PJs and snacks, and we have popcorn. It's amazing. A dream come true, basically. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that so you can go ahead and start dreaming, thinking about what pillows you're going to bring, what snacks you're going to bring. Go ahead and start thinking about all those things now, okay? It's going to be a great weekend, and like I said, I can't wait to meet all of you in person soon, but I hope you have a great night at Kickstart. I'll see you soon.
Ladies, you're going to love Erin. And for the record, also just a big asterisk right now in case you're wondering, we have been physical distancing in our office and we're in masks. So we feel super comfortable because we've kept our distance from Erin and everybody else. So Flourish is awesome.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. It's a great event. And so those are the two events that we have during the year that are specifically for guys and specifically for girls. It's just our way of, man, it just is different when you take a group of girls and a group of guys, separate them from each other, and just have a weekend where you're just studying Jesus together. It's incredible. So those are those two events. Let's go to the next one real quick. Dallas. Chris, tell us about Dallas because you are the Dallas fan.
Well, I do love Dallas, especially the Cowboys. But that said, Dallas, again, that's going to be a 7th and 8th grade event. But 6th grade really prepares you. Long story short, years ago, we decided we thought it would be awesome to try to take our middle school students on a trip that was not local, but was pretty far off. And so we picked Dallas. I have a lot of ties to Dallas. Wendy and I spent about 11 years in Texas. We're not from there, but I was a youth pastor there. So we actually go back to my home church where I was serving for a long time. We sleep on air mattresses the entire week. We serve in the mornings all over Dallas. Every afternoon, we do these things called Rainbow Express, which is basically a backyard Bible club type experience where all of our middle school students are trained and they lead it. We come along and we equip them. So it's a phenomenal event, and we like to go ahead and mention it now because eventually you will get there. But I'm sure you're going to talk about the 6th grade ATL.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about 6th grade ATL because this trip is for you in the room right now. It is so awesome. We spend an entire day doing mission work, and this past year we had you guys in the morning writing letters to students that were in Kenya and that were learning to read English in an orphanage. And my dad is a pastor, and he actually takes them over to those students in Kenya. And so we got to show our students the videos of them reading their letters, and we put y'all's picture in the letter so that they can see your face. It's just an incredible way just to show somebody love and show somebody some encouragement. And then in the afternoon, we go throughout Atlanta, and we serve in different areas. We served in a homeless shelter this past year, and we did some other things around Atlanta. And we actually worked with a church plant and went and prayed in the community. And man, it's so cool to hear 6th grade students that were just fired up about how Jesus had brought them and allowed them to pray with somebody. And what's so cool is like all of these adults who they're praying with, they're just like in awe that a student wants to spend time with them, talk with them, and pray with them. And then even share the love of Christ, and we had a lot of that happening. And then obviously that night we go to the Great Wolf Lodge in LaGrange, Georgia. And has anybody been to the Great Wolf Lodge before? Yes, okay, good group of you. So the Great Wolf Lodge is incredible. They have all the water slides you could dream of, and man, we just party that night and have an amazing time. And then the next morning we spend time at the water park, and then we come back home. It's a really good intro into what Dallas will look like the next year. But it's a great trip. So go ahead on to the next slide, Dylan. But these are kind of the activities and things that we do in a normal year. This life groups, midweek, and these annual activities that we do in a normal year. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the 2020 year. Obviously, you know, and I know, and Chris knows that it's just a little bit different than anything we've ever experienced before. So obviously, right now, we're looking at doing life groups and midweek. So we'll talk a little bit about life groups right now. So what's going to happen is, we're not exactly sure date-wise when life groups will begin. But we do know that your student, you will register online. Now, keep in mind, we are going to be emailing you with all of this information. So you don't have to write it all down or memorize it. But just know that you will be registering online. And I'm pretty sure that y'all have done that in the past, right? For 5th grade, did y'all do that in 5th grade? Yes. So it won't be anything new. And basically what's going to happen is, you're going to fill out this form. You're going to write down where you go to school and what your name is and all that good stuff, and then write down some of your friends that you want to be in a group in. And then our staff is going to compile those together and create small groups or create life groups. Now, typically in a normal year, you would fill out a card, but basically it's just an online format right now. It's just so much easier, and you guys are used to it anyway. So that's kind of just what's going to be coming in the next few weeks. So just be on the lookout for that. But then we'll be working on, can you go back for a second? We'll be working on a modified schedule for what life groups will look like in terms of meeting on campus. We're working through that right now, but we're going to have a very heavy digital presence virtually. So that's kind of what it'll look like.
Let's talk about that for just a minute. How many of you guys, middle school students, I'm talking to you 6th graders, how many of y'all would say you're tired of Zoom, that you have Zoom fatigue? How many? Just be honest. Just be honest. Okay, I need you to look right here. When it comes to life groups, are you listening? Get over it. Get over it. Listen, it's not school. I get it. I get it. School man doing math on Zoom, that has to be the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody ever. That sounds terrible to me. Math sounds terrible to me. Doing it over Zoom sounds worse.
Yeah, I mean, just math in general.
Yeah, but that said, hey look, I get it. We get it. We promise you, the second they say, you can come back, guess where we're going to be? Back. We're going to be back. Okay, until then, though, you don't want to waste the next few months by not digging in, jumping on a Zoom call, doing the best you can, trying to make some new friends, and just making the best of it, okay? So we're just calling it like it is and just trying to be real transparent. Dig in, and when those opportunities to gather happen, which we're going to try to provide a couple of opportunities for life groups to gather in person, you're going to want to really make sure that you're a part of those. But the best I can tell you, 6th graders, listen, I'm just being honest with you. I know it's not ideal, but you're going to have to get over it, because welcome to 2020, okay? And we'll get past it eventually. But just dig in and do the best. Of parents, you're just going to have to kick your kids in the butt, make them, I said butt, yeah, but you just got to kick them in the rear end and get them, and just make them go on there, even though you hate it too, right? I get it, but just do your best, all right?
Yeah.
That's dad talking here.
Yes, I am not a dad. But hey, our goal is this year, our goal for life groups is to connect and disciple your student. We're just kind of have to do that through just kind of a new strategy. This new strategy in this very unique time. So that's what Life Groups is in the 2020 year. Let's talk about midweek, what midweek is going to look like. So basically, for when we do start to gather again in midweek, they're going to be these, we're going to come on campus, just like we were talking about earlier, and we're going to have a speaking series where our staff is going to talk about different topics for middle school students. We're going to have worship. But for now, it's going to be a lot of really more connecting, like a lot of what we've done this summer. But this is hopefully our plan, is to start doing some of these things pretty soon. So, for example, this week, we do have midweek. We have midweek on Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. And everybody in this room, all the students in this room, are invited to midweek. We're going to have the Kona Ice Truck is coming, and it's going to be free for everybody who comes, so why not come, right? But it's going to be a hangout type deal. We're going to have games.
I love
It's just going to be
snowballs.
chill. So
Snow dogs are the best.
they're the best.
They're the best.
I had some shaved ice this weekend, and it was so good.
Have y'all found Pelican snowballs down in Roswell? Anybody else found this place? Brand new? Love it. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so yeah, we're going to have the
I'm
Kona Ice
sponsored
Truck,
by
and
them
it'll be
now,
fun.
so I'm just kidding. I wish I was.
And then, so we've got the following 3 weeks up until Labor Day, so that's August 19th, August 26th, and September 2nd. Those are going to be grade-specific midweeks. And what our goal is, and so on August the 19th, it will be a 6th grade only midweek from 7 to 8 p.m. Midweek, or 6th grade only midweek. And our goal is, we're going to have a huge competition between all the grades to see who can bring the most canned goods for our Johnson Ferry food drive. And whoever gets the most, we will crown the winner at a midweek gathering with all of us the next week after Labor Day. And there's going to be an amazing surprise for the grade that wins. So stay tuned. We're going to send you some information about the canned goods a little bit later. But just know, August the 19th, that is a 6th grade only midweek. And so if you want to win the prize, you guys have to band together and bring some incredible canned goods. Sound good? Perfect. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. So, in terms of these other annual activities like DNL, Mantry, Flourish, obviously you learned, or Chris was talking about earlier, that we are going to do DNL just in a different format, but we're going to keep you updated as the year goes on about our plan going forward with these events with Dallas.
And also one of the big questions, what's the fall going to look like? Within 2 weeks, we're going to be announcing as a church a new strategy going forward. So the candid part of this would be to think like the week after Labor Day would be whenever we really have a more established fall schedule. But that schedule will be synced up not just with students, but also with children and adults, and it'll be a new strategy going forward. And our executive staff, along with others, are in the process of finalizing details on that, and that information is coming out. But there will be opportunities to gather, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just have one last thing that we want to touch on. Next slide, here it is can you go one back there? Did I miss something? Is it about communication? There we go. Communication. Obviously, for you, communication is really important, and it's really important for us as well. You need to know what's going on in the middle school ministry. So, here are the best ways to connect to us and our staff and our ministry. The first thing is Instagram. Our handle is at JFS_MSM. Now, I realize that some of you in the room don't have Instagram, and you won't have Instagram, you don't want to have Instagram, and that's okay. You do not have to have Instagram to access our page. All you have to do is Google JFS_MSM. You can click our page and you can see updates about, hey, they canceled midweek this week, or hey, they did this, or hey, they did that, or hey, this is coming up. So that's something you want to do. Also, you can go on our Facebook page, Johnson Ferry Students. What is that? Like a...
That's where all the teenagers are hanging out these days.
Everybody's on Facebook, yeah. So then you can go to that page, like it, we'll post updates there. And then last but not least, email. Email is huge. We communicate big time by email. So we need, right now, our staff make sure that everyone is subscribed to student ministry stuff. But in case you're having trouble, we created this little video to help you get an idea of how to subscribe to student ministry emails on your JF account. And obviously, if you do have problems, please don't hesitate to give me, Melissa, or Courtney a call. We'll get it figured out for you. But let's check out this video, and I'll walk you through it, sort of how, if you're having trouble subscribing, this is how you do it. So you're on the Johnson Ferry homepage. You click Login in the top right corner. Type in your login ID and your password, and then you just click Sign In. Once you get into your account, you're going to go to the right, you're going to follow the mouse, and you're going to hit Update My Email Preferences. And then you're just going to make sure that Students is checked. So she's about to click Students right now. There you go. Students is checked. And then she's going to check whatever else she wants to be, or who she wants to hear from. Then she's going to click Update Preferences. And it's going to take a few seconds. It's going to take a few seconds. And it's going to tell you your email preferences have been updated. And then you're good to go. You can log out of your account and you will now be getting emails from us. If for some reason you do have any problems, please, like I said earlier, give us a call. We'll figure it out.